International Astronomical Union. Planets are traditionally named for the mythological Roman gods. Why do they think it's there? Well, astronomers study the Kuiper Belt have noticed some of the dwarf planets and other small icy objects tend to follow orbits that cluster together. By analyzing these orbits, the Caltech team predicted the possibility that a large, previously undiscovered planet may be hiding far beyond Pluto. They estimate the gravity of this potential planet might explain the unusual orbits of those Kuiper objects. So what's next? The astronomers, including Bastian and Brown, will begin using the world's most powerful telescope to search for the object in its predicted orbit. Any object that far away from the sun will be very faint and hard to detect, but astronomers calculate that it should be possible to see it using existing telescopes. I would love to find it, says Brown, but I'll also be perfectly happy if someone else found it. That is why we're publishing this paper. We hope that other people are going to get inspired and start searching.
For Planet
Anytime we have an interesting idea like this, we always apply the Carl Sagan's rules for critical thinking, which include independent confirmation of the facts, looking for alternative explanations, encouraging scientific debate, according to Green. And if Planet X is out there, we'll find it together, or we'll determine an alternative explanation for the data that we've received so far.
Statue.
Now, let's all go explore. Now, the reason I bring this up, what made me go, well, there's two reasons why this morning I wanted to bring this up. One, I received this photograph this week of this recently taken picture of that, what looks like for sure a planet in the distance there, of that photograph taken out of New Mexico. And number two,
that area there kind of lines up with this.
Watching the webinar this morning, re-watching the Avi Loeb portion of the webinar, when he starts talking about how he was able to figure out that Oumuamua was an interstellar object and was not a natural, normal asteroid or comet, but that it had to be guided by some type of intelligent life form because it was flying at a total different speed than everything else in our solar system. That is because everything in our solar system is controlled by a constant gravitational pull of the sun, making everything fly through space at the exact same speed. The only things that fly through space at different speeds are what we, humans, our spaceships, our rocket ships, our probes that we send out into space, and we, the propulsion behind it, send it at higher speeds than the rest of the asteroids and stuff going through.
What?
Because our rocket ship is not controlled by the gravitational pull of the sun. It's controlled by our own intelligent ability to create a propulsion. That's why it flies at a different speed than everything else. So when Oumuamua come flying through out of interstellar space into our solar system, it was flying at different speeds than everything else, not just faster, but sometimes it would slow down, then it would speed up, and then it would move around. Meaning, what are you serious? And so that's why I'm saying, when you start to listen to this interview with Avi Loeb, the Harvard professor who then actually found those spheres of the remnant of a crashed ship,
Jacob Israel,
spaceship that crashed into the Pacific Ocean, and they went out there and they found the remnants of it, and it's exotic metals that are not from this planet, and they're not even from the solar system. So where are they from? What are they? These little metal balls. That's because as the craft was coming in, it breaks up in the heat of the atmosphere coming through, and then it just melts them into little balls, and they fall all in the bottom of the ocean. They take a huge magnet, and they were able to sweep them up. It's a great interview. I need you to check that out. So I started listening to that this morning, thinking, okay, They were able to calculate this interstellar object, this what looked like almost like a cigar thing flying through our solar system, changing speeds and directions. Nothing can do that. It means it has to be, its propulsion has to be done by something outside of our solar system. That doesn't mean God didn't do it, because God can do anything and he does everything. But it definitely that means this thing defied the laws of nature that God's put in, natural laws that God has put into play. And God is the one that put these natural laws into play, like the law of gravity. And so, and the law of relativity and others. So, if that's the case, as it went flying by, and as this other one come crashing in, then could Planet X, because what Planet X is doing is creating another gravitational pull that's affecting the planets, the asteroids, the meteorites that are closer to it than are closer to our sun, affecting their speed due to an binary gravitational pull, like a binary system. That is why these scientists, this is why NASA, this is why all these brilliant minds are saying, hold on a minute, they can't do that unless there's something else out there
but there's a blue truck there
that can pull on the other planets. There's something else
it's the same color
out there. And is it, as it's coming by the edges of our solar system, the closer and closer and closer it gets? That's another song. The closer it gets, the further we'll fall. It's Planet X, or it's nothing at all. No, stop it. Just stop making up songs like that. It's getting worse. No. So, wormwood effect. The Bible says that in the book of Revelation, in the 8th chapter, and I can read it. Let's grab the Bible. The Bible says in Revelation chapter 8, Revelation 8, it says that there's going to be 2 deep impacts, bringing with it so much radiation, because stuff that falls from space has radiation. So here's what it says. If you go to Revelation 8:8, and the second angel sounded, and as it were a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood, and a third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died, and a third part of the ships were destroyed. And a third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers, and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood, and a third part of the waters became wormwood, or poisonous, or bitter, or radiation poisoning. And many men died of the waters because they were made bitter or poisonous. And obviously it's through the radiation. And the Bible calls this wormwood. So, I'm just bringing this up. I think somebody's got to talk about it from a biblical standpoint, from a theological standpoint, and I'll do it. I remember how people used to get so mad at me when they said, Paul Begley, they would write articles about me. They would say, Paul Begley, the theologian, and they would just drive them insane. I'm so sorry. I didn't make up that term. They did. But this is very interesting. So let's just keep an eye on all of this. This is something I want you to keep thinking about. I'm going to probably revisit this again Sunday night on Sunday Night Live. But I will say this. If you don't have your ticket for the webinar, you can still get it all weekend long. Just go to paulbegleyprophecy.com. That's paulbegleyprophecy.com. Or we have 2 phone lines open today. Call the number 765-414-2230. or 765-414-6299. And let's get these links to you, and let's get you guys watching one of the most, and will be one of the most talked about webinars on this subject, aliens above and below, that we've ever done. God bless you guys. I just love you, and I hope you've been enjoying the weekend. Enjoy this webinar, and we'll be back with more. Thank you for gifts and support. Thank you for your tithe and offerings. Keep our message of getting the gospel of Jesus Christ. The reason we're talking about all these things is to get people realizing that Jesus Christ is coming soon. The signs are everywhere. God bless. I'll be back. Are you saved?
Just throw your in the